どうですか? Anyways, this video is not necessarily from my experience about Japan and the unfortunate, I guess I could say, economical decline, as well as there's a social and a birth decline, which it's quite a shame, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just like every other foreigner, with a passport, of course, that appreciates the once great Japanese culture, even the ancient Japanese art. I haven't really delved too much about the old history, but I mean, I know it's like really brutal to a point, especially WW1 and 2. But I'm still a fan, when it comes to Japanese crafts, like this guitar over there, that's a Jackson RR5, made in Japan. And I was very curious on what the play style is like, and how what the tone is, and the quality. The quality was something that really piqued my interest as a guitar player. But as soon as I got it in the package, it took me about 3 hours to tune the bridge and strings and everything. I mean, of course I had to put new strings. But I mean, right now it sounds pretty good, so I'm gonna jam a little bit. But I've been thinking really deep, since I'm actually going to Tokyo, along my travels to the Philippines. I mean, I'm only gonna just stop by at the airport for like 5 hours, while I'm waiting my flight to Manila. But I know I might need to work on my Japanese, and in case if I really need it, because they're, from my understanding, they are very strict when it comes to language. I mean, not enough Japanese people, like they don't really care about the English or even learning it. They don't even want to leave their home, and that strikes me as like a quite nationalist. I mean, there was a time that I was like, I guess I pretended that I was proud about my the country I was born in. Even Croatian Boz is not doing great too, and even the women are not the best, are not the best wife material. I mean, I've heard stories from my dad where Bosnian women cheated on their husbands and take their kids and shit. And Japanese women are in the same way. I've always spoken to Japanese women online, like not really in person, real life, because they're just a very few here in New Hampshire. Probably some quite a bit in the Boston area, or some urban parts of Massachusetts. But it's not a lot in New Hampshire. I mean, New Hampshire's pretty much like at least 80 to 90% white. That's like one of the whitest state you can ever come across. Like, there's some African American people here and there. There's other people from different nationalities. But yeah, it really sucks. I got nothing bad to say about Japan. I always wanted to go there. Like, I probably, if I had the opportunity to spend, if I had more time, I'd probably maybe just go there for about a week, and that's it. Mainly because I've heard a lot of bad, even when people that went there, personally, they tell me about like how how the dating culture is a joke, and you literally have to pay. You have to pay women if you want to spend time as a boyfriend girlfriend thing, which really it isn't. How can I mean? It's fucking crazy, man. I mean, plus prostitution is quite a normal thing. It's not. I don't think it is strictly enforced as it should be, like here in the States. I mean, the States is very, very strict when it comes to prostitution and all that. But yeah, not only that, I mean, some videos that I've seen, like they tend to bash against Caucasian people, especially people from the UK. Yeah, it's just not good, man. I don't know what their thinking is. I would like to have a chat and a discussion with a Japanese national who's very self-aware, intelligent, and actually knows the English language. I mean, that would be really nice. I like to actually get a very clear perspective on that. Unfortunately, yeah, there's typically a lot of barriers, which is why I much rather be settled just traveling in the Philippines for 3 weeks. And yeah, like when it comes to online, comparing Filipinas and Japanese women, I mean, Filipinas have way less barriers to when it comes to having casual conversation or just sexual intimacy. For Japanese women, on the other hand, it's like they tend to they supposedly have a lot of psychological issues and have a lot of they tend to isolate, especially if you're from a different country, if you're a different color. Especially if you're a different color, they don't even bother talking to you. Especially if you're black. I mean that's just the sad part. And I respect my passport bros out there who are traveling. Yeah, it really sucks in how some countries, like how the way they are. But fortunately, not all Asian countries are racist. So thank God. I mean. But it's just sad though. It's just I'm like, even until this day, like I like the language too. Like Japanese is a very beautiful language itself. I mean, every now and then when I have time, I practice and I use my phone to just just for the basic stuff like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? All that stuff. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, they're not doing a good job advertising. I mean, yeah, this is why they're economically fucked, because if you're a Japanese country just constantly kicking out your tourists, which that's your main income right there. Most of the time, if you got a huge an anime community. Anime is huge. All the Japanese games like Final Fantasy, Pokemon. Imagine if you're just like, hey, white person, black person, we don't like you, we don't want to, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, most of the time, not only that they kind of come off as arrogant, but they're stupid. Fucking stupid. I mean, no different than your average conservative Southern guy who's like all proud of his country and all this fucking shit, doesn't want to learn another language. He wants to stay as a die-hard American. It's just fucking silly, man. I mean, we all have the opportunity to travel around the world and be less concerned when it comes to becoming identified, with certain things like where you're from and all that, because at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. As long as you love, either if you love your own culture, which you were born in, or if you love another culture or multiple cultures and countries, it's like, why does it fucking matter, right? But for Japan, it does matter, because you know, we are the bank. We are the bank, bro. It's crazy, man. It just like I don't think there's not a, they don't have enough self-reflection and to admit that they've made mistakes. You know, I think that's the kind of thing, you know. Yeah. I guess then that's just like my intake coming from a black pill and a Casper pill perspective, as well as, you know, gold pill. And to better define a gold pillar is a guy that it's, you know, who's living over there, whether it be at least a month or 6 months or a year. That's a gold pillar. But a silver pillar is a guy like Andrew Tate, who, you know, he lives overseas, but he's basically using the West as a what do you call it? Fucking, I'm trying to find a word to describe what he is and what he's doing. Right now I'm trying to, like, you know, I don't have any, but yeah, it's just, so basically, you know, a silver pillar is a guy that commercializes another country like the United States and tries to trick millennials and Zoomers and such, thinking that they can just make it big and get any vagina they want, like Andrew Tate. But clearly, Andrew Tate is also a closet follower as well as he's also a cultist. Like, every time I seem to notice, every time he does this, dude. I mean, this is actually the Freemason symbol, because you got the you got the fucking compass and the ruler in the bottom. I mean, yeah, typically, obviously, I mean, some silver pillars are good. Like, they just kind of travel back to the States whenever they need money, you know, but and then you got the silver pillar, who's more like a dark, I guess he's like more of a dark silver pillar, kind of like the dark gray pill. Wow, black pill. If you're a black pillar, you know, you know how it goes in the States, and you live in the States, and then that's pretty much it. You know the rules, and you basically just kind of go with it and try to maneuver it. Yes, I know. But yeah, so that pretty much, I think I've gone through at least the basic colored pill terminology. But yeah, hope you guys stay well.